Because when I started looking through and trying to rebuild this, all these contacts that I just lost, it made me realize the contacts I've made down through the years. The question is, are we capturing them and writing them down and then utilizing that list? So last week, the challenge was to begin building, even if we already had a memory jogger list, to rebuild one, because we forget all the names that are on there and how many connections we truly have. So let me ask this question. How many of you guys did your homework last week? Let me see some hands. All right, was it only me and Brenda? Okay, Karen.
Karen, Gloria.
Okay, Gloria, Cynthia. Okay, who else said, I literally spent some time last week really starting a brand new memory jogger? Anybody else? All right, so Sandy. Okay, thanks, Sandy. Okay, that is gonna be the challenge again. And I'm gonna kind of give you an idea today of how to do that, because what we want is when we have time to work, we can work in those stolen moments if we have a good memory jogger list and we've planned out that week and we have a good hot hands list. So let's get back into, and we're going to kind of go back over what we did last week, and let's really be prepared for our next series that's coming. We've got to get our list ready to get going. So this time it's called Target Your Success. And we started this last week. We asked those questions, what's the goal? Our goal is to figure out what people need and educate them on what Juice Plus is. The second thing we talked about, did you know that people in our industry that make 7 figures in the millions, they only knew about 10% of the people that were in their organizations. 90% were people they had met along the way. So it doesn't matter where we are now and how big our memory jogger list is now, we have the ability to build a huge business, but because it happens as we do life and as we pay attention. And the question though is, are we willing to commit to this building process? All right, we talked about these 4 areas. First is to connect. We want to connect with people and build that memory jogger into the thousands.
Elaine, the first one is collect.
Oh, collect. I'm sorry. I'm only seeing, so collect. We're collecting. What I love, as Bill Goff says, is we're collecting friends along the way, and we're building this memory jogger. And then we're going to connect with those people. That's where that hot hands, every week coming up with 10 people. Who are you going to connect with this week? So I want you to have just literally have, whether it's a notebook or however, I want you, or scratch a paper, whatever it is, I want you to literally, as we're talking today, I want you to start writing those 10 people you're going to connect with this week. And that we as a team, really what we want to do is commit to this connection process. And I get busy working Juice Plus, but what I really worked on last week is, am I truly connecting with 10 new people a week? And I've been doing this 23 years and I've missed the boat, and I'm making that commitment to you guys. I'm going to do it. That every week, week in and week out, let's hold each other accountable to this 10 connections a week. And we have a phenomenal thing happening on Thursday night. We have our team event, which is called What Happens When You Take Juice Plus. I invited 9 people last week to that event. I'm going to invite 9 or more, hopefully 10 or more, basically this week. Will you do the same with me? Will you? If so, I want you to put your name in the chat section that you're committing at least 10 people. Karen Farrell connected with 42 people last week. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right. So let me, we'll get down into the cultivate and collaborate. We're going to talk about the collect and the connect today. And so let's go to, I want you to, as I'm kind of walking through this, I want you guys to be thinking of names. Get the wheel spinning in your brain. Where do you go to collect these friends? And as I was rebuilding my memory jogger and my prospect list that had gotten hacked and lost all my contacts, it was shocking when I started going back through my notebook everywhere. And I literally have walked through this process this week. First of all, it's going to your phone. Do you know how many contacts you will have in your phone right now? And as I started going through that, it was amazing where these people were coming from. And fortunately, I had been making notes in my phone. I had met them, where I had an activity. Going through your phone and thinking about all these people who are in your life that literally, I think we start this mindset of saying, I've talked to everyone I know. Have you? Because when I went through that list, I'm like, oh my gosh, if I've collected over 20 some years of working, there's so many people I could connect with. The next thing I want to challenge you with is go to your emails. If you, I don't know how what email system you use, but I use iCloud. But if I go to, I have several different email, I don't know how I got several different email lists, but if I go to like Xfinity, I never clear that one out. I mean, it is just pages of emails. And when I think about it, there's so many people's emails there that I don't even have listed as a contact in my phone or on my memory jogger. How about social media? I know I have over 1,000 friends on Facebook. Are those people on my memory jogger? No. And then the last thing is we got to get out and talk to people and have those antennas up. And I'm going to show you let me stop for a second. Over the weekend, I want to show you a contact that I had and just kind of share with you a little bit about, how this conversation went. Okay, let's see here. Brenda, what did I tell you? How did I tell you I need to, okay, I think it's, how did I tell you again when I got into this scenario?
Click on Google.
Click on Google. Okay, stop share.
I like that you did that. You showed how handsome your husband was.
Okay, so let's go. Was it Google? Shoot, it's not.
I wrote it down.
Okay, here we go. I escaped out. Okay, so Teamsy. Okay, I'm going to show you. Can y'all see this or no? I have to share again, don't I?
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. Okay, let me go here. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story when it comes to when I was thinking about this, all the people that we know that I think we miss. And an antenna went up. Over on Saturday, Ainsley came home just for an hour she was going to smoke some meat, and she came home to get my husband's smoker, and she brought a couple of her friends with her. Well, one of her friends' name is Bex. And so Ainsley and her other friends were downstairs with Scott, and Bex and I just sat in the family room and started talking. Bex is a NICU nurse at Piedmont here in Atlanta. And so I just said, Bex, tell me a little bit about what you do. Let me hear what's going on. And she went on to tell me about that she just took 3 weeks off because she just mentally couldn't take it because, so many of these brand new babies are dying. And as we talked, we just got deeper and deeper. And I said, Bex, tell me a little bit about what you think the cause of. Why are all these babies dying? And so she began to tell me a lot of the women were older having babies. A lot of the women that she works with had, they did in vitro. And then she made the comment about preeclampsia. Now, does that ring a bell? Is that ringing a bell for anyone when you hear the word preeclampsia? Someone.
Dr.
Yep.
Dr. Odom.
Dr. Odom, okay. And so what had just happened that had transpired there?
Mhm.
What had happened was the questions in our conversation. I really didn't have any intention of going to Juice Plus with her. But what my antennas were up, and when I heard the word preeclampsia, being on that call with Dr. Odom, I just said, oh my gosh, I said, recently I was on a call with Dr. Doug Odom, and I began to share his story of what happened in his practice and what his nurses had saw and the impact that Juice Plus had. And it was like, we just got into a deep conversation. And then she began to share her health issues with me. And so as she began to share with me, now this is somebody my daughter's age in 26, that she had circulation issues, and we were laughing. It wasn't funny, but we had a good time laughing and talking about what all was going on. She was falling apart, she said. She has high cholesterol, low vitamin D, iron, COVID, brain. As we were talking, she was like, what do you think about this? Do you think Juice Plus? I'm taking supplements. I'm not seeing any difference. And so what I started doing was just capturing our conversation. And so what do I need to do to begin? So what happened was, it was that connection was being made and we were sharing, but it started with that asking questions and getting to know someone and being around people, whether it's on the phone, on events, in person. And suddenly, what came to mind is I remember Brenda Proctor had sent me a text about a customer of hers, or maybe it was actually a text, if I'm remembering right, from Erin Lemmy, whose customer's vitamin D3 went up just simply by taking Juice Plus. That's weird, isn't it? But
Almost immediately.
But it goes back to the polyphenols that, by taking Juice Plus, it created more polyphenols. So I thought, ooh, I've got to get that text message from either Erin or Brenda's customer, whoever that was. Then I got thinking about helping her understand, we're going to give it a 2-month trial run with her. And she's going to have her blood work done again. And just talking, this is only going to be 50%, because what do we know? It takes 4 months for Juice Plus to fully get into your system. And as a nurse, she's going to understand that 4 months of the red blood cells, taking 4 months for the red blood cells to totally turn over. And then I got thinking when she was talking about the COVID brain, because of, the brain fog, and thinking about, I've got to send her Dr. Mitra Ray's video, and then Dr. Odom's research because of the line of work that she's in. So I wanted to just walk through that process with you guys, just to help you see that, one, making that connection. And let me get back to our PowerPoint, but what we want these connections to be is legitimate, as we're going through, I love Bob Goff saying of collecting friends. That's what we want to do. We want people to know the sincerity of our heart, that we care about them, that we want to make a change in people's health. And I think that it's just this process of having conversations with people collecting those friends, hearing from them, asking those questions so we can hear where they are in their life. And then beginning the connection process of getting curious, really asking about who they are, what's going on with them. When you're asking true questions, people open up. And as they open up, the doors will open up to connect with them about Juice Plus. But you know what? She started laughing at me because I came alive the more we got into this conversation. And she goes, you know what I love about you, Miss Elaine, is how passionate you are about what you do. And you know what she saw was that I do care. And that passion, let people see your passion for Juice Plus. That's going to attract them to you, and they're going to warm up to you. And then get knowledgeable. Let's grow. Be on the call Thursday night. Get as many people on that call, because what happened was I was able to draw back to Dr. Odom and to Brenda's text to me. And it's like all these things started coming to my mind as that conversation was going on. People love knowledge. Who on here doesn't love to get a tidbit of knowledge? Like that text that Brenda had sent me, and I don't know if it was from you or Aaron, one of the two of you.
It was actually Karen's.
Or Karen. Well, thank you, Karen. You know, that goes back to kudos to Karen for having the connections with her customers like that. That I was able to use that. And then the last thing is let's get connected. How can you get connected with, so that what we want to do is just keep expanding in our knowledge, expanding in our ability to ask questions, to dig deep. We have to connect in a variety of ways. So let's from different areas of your life. And as I was thinking about this, how to do that, here's mine, and yours are going to look different. That I thought this new memory jogger that I'm going to create, and this memory jogger means just anybody I can think of in building. I started breaking it out by different areas of my life. And that's what, if you want to do a notebook, you want to do an Excel spreadsheet, think about where do you connect with people in your life. So my husband and I do marriage mentoring with couples, and we usually do maybe for a year. But when you walk through the process of this marriage mentoring, you really get to know people. And so what and reconnecting and begin bringing in, just one, reconnecting with them, finding out where they are right now. Some of them have had babies. We've been doing this for 15 years now. So those couples are going to go on that list. As most of you know, my background is in financial. I'm kind of going back to who are my clients? Who are the people I worked with? A lot of them are customers, but I'm going to go back through and revisit those people I worked with in the whole financial realm. Then, my workout community, I got to give a shout out to Sandy. Sandy Thompson has brought on 3 new partners, got the Partners to Partner Plus, and I think a lot of them came from her workout community. Are you connecting when you go to the gym? I'm going to start looking through that list of people. I love real estate, and I'm thinking through the different connections I'm making in this whole realm of real estate between some of my tenants, some of the realtors, and in just that whole realm. Obviously the health and wellness industry. I want to say, you know, Mara right now is in the process of becoming a certified health coach. Think about the people she's connecting with right now. I know Linda Gardner got a phenomenal partner through getting certified herself. I want to say, Kathy Bly, you're on here. You've got your own health and wellness program. Think of the people. I know you're connecting with those people. How about household and decorating? I've gotten so many customers for people who come into my house, either helping me decorate, repairing something. I've collected a lot of friends in the process. Think about the people who are coming into your home. How about your career or your children? Man, I've got a lot of people I've made connections, but there's no way I've connected with all of them. So that I'm going back and filling those. Extended family. I got so many relatives I've maybe talked to, but I've not sealed the deal, as Carrie Vidiello used to say. Or college. There's a lot of people I went to college with I haven't connected with. Or my childhood. I hope you guys are right. I hope names are popping in your head or categories. You know, I'm thinking of all the different groups that I've been involved in. Now, let me ask you this. As we go through seasons of life, we need to keep continuing to build and be a part of different groups that we can keep adding to when we're building this memory jogger list. So let me stop right now and let me see, we still got some time. Did that trigger any thoughts? Any groups of people you forgot about that you were connected with, or people? So let's just stop right now. I want to hear from you guys so that you guys can trigger, we can cross share. I saw Renee, I saw you shaking your head. What started coming to mind for you?
A whole lot came to mind for me. A whole lot of people I can reach out with that I know that I've worked with in the past. So, you know, so that started coming back to me like, wow, I didn't even think about them. So.
Good. So it was your work history. There's something else that Renee mentioned that I'm going to challenge you, Renee, on the leadership call earlier. You made the comment about, we're going to do, again, I'm putting a plug in for Thursday night, everyone. Let's load that call up. But you made a call about, you said, hey, do we have anyone speaking on the call Thursday night about diabetes? What if we got online and joined some diabetes groups and began connecting with people in those groups?
That's a good idea.
Think of the thousands of groups online that we can start, if that's where our passion is, helping people in that realm who deal with diabetes. We've got the answer for them. So why not begin joining groups like that we can begin to make connections with? What's some other groups that we can physically join? Is Ann still on here? Ann's part of a BNI group.
Yes.
You've gotten a ton of partners and customers from that group, yes? Wait a minute, you just went on mute again. Are you?
I'm
yeah.
here.
How many would you say from that BNI group that you've been in, and how long have you been in that
I'm
group?
having trouble hearing you.
Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? Okay.
No, there you are. Now I can hear you.
So what I said is, share with them, how many customers or partners do you think you've got because you joined that BNI group?
Well, I've only been doing it a couple months, but I've picked up about, I want to say 6 customers. And I think that's going to grow the more I contact with people in the group. So to me, that's a good number for the amount of time I've been doing it. I've it costs to be part of that group and I've more than paid for that.
So I just wanted to share that. I think I saw who else. I wanted to share that because as a great example, whether we're joining groups online virtually or we're joining groups physically, we're making connections. I think, where did Gloria go? I think I saw Gloria's hand up. Is she?
Yeah.
Did we lose her?
Her-
Oh, there you are, Gloria.
Yeah, last weekend, well, last Friday, I did a facials. I put together a package for them, and I'm going to so even in senior center that I go to. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
It was kind of spotty. All I heard was you were making a package for someone. Does anyone know? Did you do an event?
Well, I did facials at a senior center. And so as I was doing the facials, I was talking to them about Juice Plus, and they were interested in it. So at senior centers, that's a good place to go because you have older people there, you know, that are concerned about their health.
I love it, doing facials. What? See, I love this sharing of ideas. I never would have thought of doing that. And I go every week to visit my mom, but I love that idea, Gloria. Oh my gosh. Okay. What other ideas popped in your head or other things you are doing that you're seeing great results with connecting with people? Anyone else? Sandy Horn.
So I have joined a free Care Partners Collaborative. And so in that group, it's not a paid group at this moment, like a BNI, or I was a part of another one before. And those are great, but this one is online and it's allowed me to connect with people in finance, and it's allowed me to connect with a diabetes group. And also Friday, I did an event at like a 62 and over like apartment community, and they were great. So that's part of my work today is I have to send out emails, but I have another event tomorrow with, so, you know, and they advertise, it was funny, they were so cute, but they took all of my boxes and I was kind of like, you know, like my display boxes, and they wanted them because there's a wellness center and they put all of the Juice Plus, and I was like, sure, you can take it. You know, I'm thinking, I don't have any more of my display boxes, but I was like, I'll get some more. But they wanted like this book I had to give them one of my books because just they were so cute. And I was like, well, you can go online and look. And they were just looking at me and I was like, all right, you can have it. I'll get some more. But they were so cute about it. And so I have to do that today, is to reach out, and they were, you know, it wasn't a senior center, but they were 62 and over. So it's not even an independent. This is an apartment community. So they were very savvy and some people were very interested. So I'm looking forward to those connections.
That's awesome. Sandy Thompson, are you going to say so? Yes.
If any of us that have been in this business any length of time, you know that we need to touch our business every day. We need to follow up, follow through. We need to listen for the need when it appears, walk through the door, and we need to reciprocate. So I'm thinking of all of my former leaders, partners, and I made a connection. Her name is Annette. I invited her to the event on Thursday night. And then I just asked her, are you still taking Juice Plus? Last night while watching TV, she texted me and she says, you know, I need to get back on that. How much is? And so I ended up with a quad and a family health study. So that was my follow-up from somebody that was a long time ago, but I've connected with on Facebook. I've seen her kids grow up and we communicate that way. The second one is my accountant, Al. He's done our taxes forever. And he always calls it my juice business, my juice. How's your juice? We hear about your juice. So I thought the reciprocation thing, you know, so I invited him to the Zoom call on Thursday night. And he said, well, I'm in Illinois working, but yes, he said, I can jump on that call. And I said, yay, I'm going to look for you. So there's my reciprocating deal. And then at the club, you already mentioned, Elaine, that I have a lot of connections that I've made from my workout club. And it just so happened that during my walk, I had to go to the bathroom really fast. And so I'm coming through the locker room and I hear this friend that I have just met briefly. I knew that she was a secretary for a law firm. And so she's always very friendly. She was sharing with another friend while I'm walking through that she has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She's in the beginning stages. And I knew she wasn't as old as me. And I didn't want her to think that I was eavesdropping, but I finished my business. And then I got to the real business of reaching out to her. And I said, Julia, I said, I couldn't help but hear your conversation. I am so sorry to hear that you're struggling with this. And I just want you to know that I may have an answer for you. Do you mind if I send you some information from things that I have received? So I started doing that, and I invited her to our event on the 29th. Are You Losing Your Mind? At Churches. And she was so thrilled that I invited her. She said, yes, I'll be there. So those are the things that have happened to me in the last week, and it has been awesome.
Well, okay, so let me thank you for sharing, Sandy. So let me follow up. So one was a reciprocal with your accountant. You do give him business, he gave you business. One was your gal at the gym. Where did the first person come from?
She was a former partner. She was one of my first partners when
And how did you get her though originally?
Oh, well, I was at another gym when I belonged.
Okay.
And so we worked side by side every Saturday morning and every, 2 or 3 times a week. So,
Okay.
and she had children and I saw the need. I took her samples of everything that I had in those days. And people are saying, she'll never sign up. She'll never sign up. She signed up. And then she, life happened. And so she had not done anything.
So really, if I'm listening, I'm putting that in the inactive customer category.
Yes.
So there's a whole, like I'm saying, going through this list of rebuilding everything, I have a lot of inactive customers that sometimes I think you hit an awesome point, Sandy. Sometimes it's just reconnecting,
Right.
It's when I connect with them, they order another round. When I let them go by their wayside, they go by the wayside. So I think you bring up an excellent point. We have got to stay connected with our people, with our customers, with our partners, if we want to keep building and growing a business. Yes.
You remember we were told it's more, we want to be interested in them instead of being focused on being interesting ourselves. And that's just it. You're interested instead of interesting. And also when we're inviting, one of the things that we had an event here and I blew it. And I even felt like the Holy Spirit was prompting me. This was a friend who I've been trying to get on Juice Plus forever. And she was coming and I did not follow up with her that day because it was in the middle of everything and she didn't show up. So when you're inviting for Thursday night, follow up right before and say, looking forward to seeing you tonight. I just think because everybody's busy, I forget stuff all the time. So it's going to be a great event. And it's going to be one that I think that we're going to do every month. Because when new people get on there and they have great results, oh my gosh.
I know. Okay. I see Debbie Belcher. I see your hand.
Yes, I'd like to ask Sandy, what is the event on the 29th? Are you losing your mind?
Yes, it's, if you were on, was it the first of the month of August? Our team event was Are You Losing Your Mind with Mitra Ray. And remember, we played the bingo game and took the Stroop test. So anyway, Brenda and I have done it in personal events, both at her place. And so now we're bringing it to Anderson. And it's a follow through with that same event that our group did I believe it was the beginning of August.
Okay, is that is that a recorded event that we can go back to? Or we're gonna have another one on the 29th?
No,
That's the live event on the 29th in Anderson, Indiana. They're repeating what we did online. This Thursday night, we're doing the, what happens when you take Juice
Right.
Plus online.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, got it.
All right, guys. Well, it's almost 1:10. I always try to be done by then. So here's the challenge. 10 new connections this week. Okay, we did have 25. So we got 24 people on here. So 240 invites to the call on Thursday night. Our goal is to have it maxed out. We have 100 people and it's maxed out. Okay, will everyone commit to inviting 10 people this week? Let me see. All right, you guys, let's have a blowout event on Thursday night. Thank you guys for being on the call today. And let's keep building those memory joggers and make a plan every week. Who are the 10 people you're going to invite and connect with this week? So before you do anything, get 10 names on a piece of paper. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. Look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday night. Yes. Bye, everyone. I'm going to
Everyone, have a good day.